Ooh. I'm a few drinks deep, so, I'm rocking back and forth at the moment. This will be a weird one. This might be a weird one. This might be a really weird one. I'm feeling very silly, and I was sending voice notes to a friend, and they were getting a bit silly. And then I was working on a commission, and I was thinking, this is cool, but I'm at the point now where I think I'm done with the rough that I was working on, and the next step is to sort of neaten it out and get it ready for painting. But that's not something I want to do after I've been drinking as much as I've been drinking. It's one of those days, folks. Yeah. So I thought, well, why don't I see? Because I've recorded a couple of podcast episodes this week. One of them will get published. The others will just get thrown to the wayside because I don't fucking care. Just because they're shit, really. I'm trying to find a good picture of... That'll do. Of our boy. I haven't been happy with the podcasts I've been recording this week. I've recorded a couple, and one was sort of okay, but I was a bit about it, and the other one was just a bunch of garbage. I was sitting vibing, listening to some good tunes, drinking deep, I guess. Apparently that's what I do now. We've all got our coping mechanisms, haven't we, eh? And then I thought, shit, quick, I've got this energy. I'm fucking like singing along to songs. I'm saying words I probably shouldn't say out loud. And I figured, well, let's quick. Because I get that sometimes when I'm just in the kitchen doing my dinner or just fucking whatever. And I think, fuck, I should I'm being energetic. I'm talking to myself. I've got energy out of somewhere. I'm talking, I'm fucking chilling, I'm vibing, I'm doing shit. I've got energy from somewhere, even without taking caffeine supplements. And I think to myself, oh shit, this would be a perfect time to quickly record a podcast. Or not quickly, but quickly get on and start recording a podcast. And then I might actually have a good podcast for one. But I'm usually doing stuff when that happens. So I'm like, well, it's not really a good time, so I'll leave it and do it another time. And then when I do sit down to record a podcast, it's boring and I hate it and I want to delete it and forget it ever happened. But then this is one of those times where I'm like, oh fuck, this would be I've got energy and I'm doing shit, so this would be a really good time to record a fucking podcast. So I thought, quick, get it done. So I'm getting it done. I'm getting it done. Do now. That's the thing. So that's what we're doing now, right this instant. I probably am. I don't know if I've said before. I don't know if I've ever been drunk. I think I might be there right now, brothers and sisters. Again, that's how we refer to ourselves in the ewan. It's not a religion. It's a system of caring for one another through the medium of art and penises. Penises and art. Art, penises, penis and art. Art, penis and art. Do. This is the fire on his tail here. Is this what I draw like when I'm drunk? Jesus Christ. See, because I got these new glasses. I can't really show them too much because I don't turn them because I had my old glasses which felt kind of childish because they had red, yellow and blue primary colour lines across them. And every time I had a drink out of them, I was like, ugh, this is a child's glass. Not that, I'm a child still. I'm a child at heart, but I'm a child because of trauma that's not letting me... The trauma isn't necessarily stopping me from progressing, but the fact that I haven't adequately dealt with that trauma is stopping me from really properly progressing out of my childhood. Nevertheless, sometimes when I'm having adult alcoholic beverages out of a very childish feeling glass, I feel silly. So I got some new glasses and they got shit around. They look more they are whiskey glasses. It said on the box whiskey glasses, and there's whiskey and ginger ale in here. So this is my third one. So we'll see how we get on. This is how I draw when I'm drunk, apparently. I don't know if it's good. I hate drawing wings. I hate drawing wings so much. I can never get them to look good. It's one of those things that I should practice, like Kim Yoon-gi style. Just practice it. Just draw wings, and would just fill like pages and pages of my sketchbook with drawings of wings. Like from reference, just reference pictures of birds, bats, dragons, fucking dragonflies, regular flies, bugs, all kinds of shit. Just all kinds of different references of wings, wing references, until I can draw wings like that without using the reference. That's the whole point. That's what I always tell people. Keep copying shit until you don't need to copy this shit anymore, and that's how you learn to draw. I should take my own fucking advice, shouldn't I? I should stop being such a cunt and fucking actually take my advice. But nevertheless, but regardless, I'm a cunt and I'll remain a cunt. If you like me being a cunt, consider subscribing to my Patreon. Patreon.com/ewan, ewan, E-W-A-N, ewan, E-W-A-N. For only $1 a month. You can subscribe for more if you like, but you only need to subscribe for $1 a month. Because I don't care about the money as such. I need money, it's useful to have, but I don't care about it. I don't want the money. The Industrial Revolution fucked the entire world! Money, eh? Oh, let's all get money. That's what's important. Money, money. You're only a successful artist if you make money. The only sign of success is money. Oh, wow. See, that person, they're very successful. Why? Because they made a lot of money. Oh, brilliant. Fucking good for them. What an absolute cunt they are. What do they care about? Money? Oh, fuck them. I hope they die suddenly. Because I can say I hope they die, but like everyone's going to die. I hope they die suddenly and unexpectedly, and I hope it's a tragedy. But I also hope that everyone in their life goes, I'm not that sad about it, but I have to at least act sad because, you know, they're dead, so I'm supposed to like be sad about it. But wow. Oh, it all comes out when we've been drinking. Look, it's Charizard! Ooh, I'm just leaning back in my chair right now. I just dropped my pen. Oh no. That's what we're doing today. We're drawing Charizard. See, because I drew these. I drew Bulbasaur to impress a girl who said her favourite Pokemon was Bulbasaur. So I thought I'll draw Bulbasaur. And I'll like be like, oh hey, I heard you like Bulbasaur. Oh. And then I carried on and I drew Ivysaur. Which is cool. Look, it evolves Bulbasaur to Ivysaur. And then he evolves from Ivysaur to Venusaur. Look at that. That's fucking cool, isn't it? Wow. Look at that fucking big boy. I actually really like these drawings, though. I drew the Bulbasaur sort of on a whim. I thought it'd be a cool little thing to post on my Instagram. Like, oh, this is fucking Bulbasaur, whatever. Obviously, it was to impress a girl, because that's why anyone draws anything ever. I swear, like 90% of shit that has been created in the world has been created by people to impress someone of, not necessarily the opposite sex, but someone they want to try and impress. Maybe for sexual reasons, maybe for other romantic type reasons. That's almost certainly why most stuff gets created. Not necessarily true, I've got... Oh, I feel a bit nauseous. Let me have a bit of water. Oh, I've only got a little bit of water, so... Apparently that's good to do. If you're drinking, it's good to drink. It's good to do. To drink water if you're drinking alcohol. Yeah, I drew the Bulbasaur and I quite liked that. I like the sort of green underglow from his body onto the bulb. I like the shape of the bulb. It's kind of like, it feels almost like a beanbag or something. But yeah, I was happy with that. Like, it's not realistic Bulbasaur, but like a slightly more stylized Bulbasaur. I don't know. And then the Ivysaur, I came in with the fucking colours, man. Green and blue to make like a turquoise. That was done with a green pen and a blue pen, and it makes like a really nice turquoise, which obviously that's what turquoise is. It's green and blue. I was really happy with the leaves as well, and I purposely didn't outline them because I was really happy with like the two-tone, like underside and top side of the leaves. Really, really happy with those. I like the pink bulb. His skin colour, his shape, his face and everything. The red of the eyes as well, having no outline or anything, that's really good. Really, really, really happy with that. And then, oh, bloody howdy. The only thing I'd change about this is I think the inside of his ear is supposed to be pink, which I think would have added to it a bit, but it's not too much of a detriment for that not to be there. The leaves are cool, the fucking tree thing's cool, his big fucking bulky body, and he's like looking down slightly, emphasising how big he is, that he's higher than you are looking down at you. Oh, feeling a bit nauseous. If I have to excuse myself, you'll have to excuse me. But it'll be perfectly reasonable, I feel. So I really liked these drawings. I thought they were really cool. Those are all going to be given to, that person, the vagina owner that I'm trying to impress. Because that's just what we do. But I said on Instagram, like, oh, tee-hee, what if I did every Pokemon? And by every Pokemon, I mean the first 151. I'm not doing all 1,000 plus Pokemon. Come on, don't let's be silly. But I kind of would like to draw the original 151 Pokemon in this sort of style. I think they'd look really cool just as individual drawings, and then I can make a big print of them all together. Maybe, I don't know. You can help with that. If people buy the drawings, the first three, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur and Venusaur, they're gone. They're spoken for. I've actually worked out a trade with the girl that I'm giving those to. She does her own creative stuff, and she said, oh, I'll give you this in to say thanks in trade for the things. And I was like, done. Let's fucking do that shit. So we're sorting that out. But all the others are going to be unspoken for. So if you see them on here, on YouTube or on Instagram or wherever I post them, and you want one, let me know. Buy one, and you can help fund me sitting down for days on end drawing Pokemon. Because that's what people want to see, innit? What more could you want than some fuck sitting down spending all his days drawing bloody fucking Pokemons? Ooh. Now, of course, it goes without saying that Charizard is a dragon. And if we're looking for inspiration for doing dragons, we need look no further than Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, gosh, give me a second. Oh, I don't feel like I'm going to be sick, but I do feel a bit like, ooh, maybe I need to slow down a bit. Art and Arcana. This, we've looked through this before. It's whatever. It's cool. But there's a bunch of dragons in it somewhere. There's bound to be. There's Dungeons and Dragons. So I want to look at some cool dragon art to inspire my dragon art. Because I think when I draw Charizard... See, I'm drawing... When I draw Charmander. Yeah. Charizard is the one we're doing today because I'll upload Charmander and Charmeleon first to Instagram. But then by the time this comes out to the public, it might be around the same time that it's appropriate for me to post Charizard on Instagram. Because this will come out for the public in like a couple of weeks or a week or whatever. So I figured I'd physically draw Charizard first, but upload Charmander first. Get it? That makes sense, doesn't it? So I'm going to draw Charmander as like a cute little Pokemon thing, like a little plushy, cute little Charmander thing. Make him a bit more like obviously lizard-like. Maybe his toes will be a bit more lizard-like. And then Charmeleon will be like almost just a lizard, but fire on his tail and a bit more cartoony. And then Charizard, I want to make the drawing of Charizard like a gnarly fucking like beastly dragon. Oh, there you go, like that. I'm going to copy this, have his tail coming out with fire on the end of it, and call it Charizard, and that's going to be it. Make him a bit more orange than straight red. But that's almost exactly what I have in my head when I'm drawing Charizard for this series of drawings. Because, you know, like, Venusaur he basically looks like that, but he doesn't look quite like that. But then I want my Charizard to be like just a gnarly fucking, with like a face like this, like an evil fucking monstrous face, rather than his like anime cartoony dragon face. While still being able to tell that it is a Charizard. The colour will have a lot to do with that. And I will try to make like the shape of his head more like Charizard than this, for instance. Like the blocky nose and the two sort of like horns he has, and not too much else. What did I do last night? I fucked your mother. That's what I'm saying, you know. Fucked your mother in her asshole. That's where she likes it. She's a whore, your mother. Your mother's a whore. Really, I love this painting. It's so fucking nice. The shape and colour of the troll is fucking perfect. How its shoulder goes into the hump of its back, goes into its neck, goes into its head, goes into its nose. This one line from its nose to its shoulder to its wrist. So good. And the colours of it, the turquoise, blue, greens. And then it's like foot feels kind of like awkwardly placed, but like solid on the ground as this guy's jumping at it. I love that. And the tree's really nice, like the fucking compositional structure, the tree and shit. Really like that painting. Retro! And that's a cool painting, but more in terms of just, you look at it and go, wow, there's a lot going on there. But then if you actually break it down, you're like, the anatomy's a bit off, and like the thing's a bit weird here and there. It's a good painting. It's just, you know, I'm just being a dick looking at it going, oh, this could be better. Why is this shit? Why isn't this the best artwork I've ever seen, instead of the piece of shit that it is? Owlbear. Oh, God, Jesus. Wayne Reynolds, man. Wayne Reynolds is something else in the pantheon of Dungeons and Dragons artwork creators. He really is. That is so impressive. The shape and the form and the weight and the solidity of that guy. The detail in his armour while still being a visible form, like a visible physical form. And then the contrast of the greys in the paintings, in the people, the characters, the monsters, whatever, and the red, the harsh red background is really good. Ooh. And that's good too, I guess. What was this? This was like a draw this in your style type thing. Wayne Reynolds original, and then a bunch of other people did. This one looks like, is it Ben Templesmith who did 30 Days of Night? Is that his name? Let me get a tab. Ben Templesmith. I think that's his name. Yeah, Ben Templesmith. That looks like his artwork. That might be one of his. It looks very similar to his style. It might not be. I might be completely wrong in saying that. I thought I'd see more dragons, but I guess, you know, I've seen one dragon. You've seen one dragon, you've seen them all, haven't you? Well, there's one. There's a bloody dragon. That's red. Charizard is orange, which is in the red end of the spectrum. Another Wayne Reynolds one. It's pretty cool, I guess. It's alright. I like the shape of his tail. Like flaps and flattens out, and then it's in shadow and then light, and it's really good. He has a really interesting lighting technique where he uses rim lighting, like white, just straight white rim lighting, but then not fades, but like blends that into the highlighting of the actual character. I noticed that in a lot of his pieces, like especially here, where it's like white rim lighting, but then it's that bleeds into just the straight highlights on the actual form and stuff. I think that's part of what gives his style such an iconic look, is that use of like rim lighting blending into the highlighting of the rest of the piece. Oh, I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. I can barely see straight at the moment. There, that's the one I was looking for. There's a fucking dragon. And there you can see, yeah, he's got the white rim lighting and highlights, but then he's painted these scales almost straight white, which is, I don't want to say brave, but it kind of is, like, because you think white is for the very, very tip-top hot highlights. But then to use white on a black dragon, to use so much white to highlight its scales is quite a ballsy sort of move. Because you'd think it's like, overall it has like a slightly dark green tone to it that fades into like a bluish black. So you'd think it would make sense to have those sorts of colours in the scales and stuff, but then on the tippy top to have like the white scales highlighted is really, it's a bold move to make, and it's very effective. It does give a shine, like a sheen to the dragon scales. And if you notice, he's not just like highlighted its neck, it's got like the 3 tubes here, this big one, this medium one, and then this small one coming out here, which really do imply like the tendons and muscles and those pipes and tubes in any creature's neck, but then with scales like rolling over them. Really, really well done. The tension in the muscles in this claw hand, this one a bit, but this one more so, with the skin between each of the fingers of the toes or whatever. There's so much like tension in that, you can really feel the muscles and everything. And then the composition overall. The guy, Regdar, the warrior with his sword, and then the dragon and its tail and its wings, and then the treasure and the shit. Really, really brilliant piece. I have that game. I have the miniatures from that game, the pads, the map tiles and everything. It's like, it is basic game. It's like a starter pack of like, if you want to play Dungeons and Dragons, this is how you start. Obviously, I'm a seasoned veteran, but I got that just because it's a good bunch of stuff to have. A good bunch of dungeon tiles, miniatures, information, basic rules and stuff just to get you going. I say I'm a seasoned veteran, I'm really not. I know like this much of Dungeons and Dragons overall. I really like Wayne Reynolds in terms of all of the bodies of his creatures and people and things. The subjects in his paintings are all really well and separately defined. Like his gnolls, the gnoll here, its body is completely different in terms of shape and stuff from this body, where some people draw like a human body with like a hyena's head, and that's a gnoll, because that's basically what a gnoll is. But here, this body is completely different. The rib cage takes up a bulk here, and then it gets thinner here with these very hyena or like quadrupedal like legs, and then slightly more humanoid arms, but still keeping within the framework of the hyena's shape. And then you can see contrast with this, I don't know, like a half orc, I guess it is here. Basically humanoid with a monstrous face and some spiky toes. Completely different body shapes, which seems obvious to say it, but it's something that when you're actually sitting drawing and creating artwork in like fantasy worlds and stuff, it's very, very easy to overlook that kind of thing. And just draw, like I say, like a human body with a hyena's head, which might be more or less acceptable, but then if you compare it to something like that, and then like these constructs, they're huge and bulky, and the armor really builds the form. It's not just like a guy who is big and wearing armor. The armor and stuff really creates the form of this being here, and that's very, very impressive. I mean, to say Wayne Reynolds is good at what he does, in my opinion, when Anthony Reynolds is the defining artist of Eberron, says Keith Baker, Eberron creator. Well, there you go. Say less. Stop talking, you fuck. In most cases, 3rd edition is about the best, Like, you get the original shitty drawings. Look at that. They must have been stupid idiots back then, drawing like absolute shit. In 1975, what was that, the stupid years? 77, almost looks worse. What are they doing? Second edition, a bit more cartoony. Third edition, killed it. More monstrous, a bit less cartoony, but still got character to it. It's got movement in that, like the fact that it's almost made of stone, but it's got movement to it still. Fourth edition looks a bit goofy. It loses something, and then fifth edition almost accentuates that goofiness and just looks like ugh. Just looks like shit compared to this. There is something like Cthulhu-esque about this one, and this one looks like, I don't know, shit. Also, it's digital art, and we all know. We all know how I feel about that. Are there more dragons? Show me more dragons. I want to look at dragons. That's the whole point. I'm looking through this because I'm going to draw a dragon, so I want to look. Well, there's some fucking dragons. I do like that as well. The later editions, third editions. Each of the coloured dragons has a specific look to it, a very specific vibe. I like the black dragon has like a skeletal face, and that was rendered very well in that Wayne Reynolds piece back here. He did it really good justice, kind of. And the skeletal face of the black dragon. And the blue one has like this almost rhinoceros horn. The red one is a fairly standard dragon. The gold dragon, its wings are like almost longer across its tail, and it's got this like crown almost. The white dragon looks like, every dragon has a very specific look to it, which is very difficult to do. Like if I said to you, draw, what is that, 3, 6, 9, 10 dragons. If I said draw 10 separate dragons which each have an individual look to them, that's a difficult thing to do. Like I could draw 3 dragons that look pretty different, but then if I had to make them look different, it would be like, this one's got 10 arms, this one's got 8 wings, this one's got no head. It would be like dumb stuff like that to make them look different. But the design choices in each of these is really, really smart. They're very, very well designed dragons, which, I mean, if your game's called Dungeons and Dragons, the dragons should be pretty well designed. Really, shouldn't they? Love that piece. I love that. Not in terms of like all of the bodies in it feel very sort of meh. They're all just kind of a bit static, somewhat lifeless. But the painting overall, like the colour and design of it, there's all these different zones in the painting, different things going on. The colour switch from point to point is really, really good. I like that a lot. Orcs! The 5th edition is just shit. It looks like a bad mobile game piece of artwork. 4th edition is like, meh. 3rd is okay, but not perfect. Somewhere in between. If there was there is a 3.5 edition, but they don't have separate artwork. But if there was a piece of artwork in between these two, I think that would be perfect orc artwork. Of these particular, there's hundreds of, if not thousands, more pieces of artwork of orcs out there, but of the ones they've shown. Oy, oy, oy. Well, that's a dragon. Oh, I'm getting tired. I think the alcohol's wearing off. I think it's had its moment. I'm not done though. Because there's this too. Christ. The art of Skyrim. Skyrim's got dragons in it, hasn't it? That's the whole point of Skyrim, is it's dragons. The other Elder Scrolls games don't have dragons, but Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls 5, has dragons. I'm struggling to keep my eyes open at the moment. I'm physically lifting my eyes open right now. As I recall, there's not even much in the way of dragons in this book. Which, I mean, there's a lot of art to cover in Skyrim. There you go. Creatures. Dragons. Creatures. Dragons. And then there's like, a piece of artwork. Some armour. A dragon. Ooh. some dragons, and then a bear. And a bunch of other shit. Like, it's all good artwork, it's all very impressive, you know, it's mostly digital, which is, you know, fucking bunch of bullshit, but whatever. It's all really good in terms of, like, design and concept artwork as a whole. The Drauga. I'm always amazed by the, like, because if I sat down to, like, design dwarven architecture, machinery, constructs, and, like, dwarven machine monster things, I'd struggle so much to come up with anything, even a fraction of this sort of thing. But, like, each of these constructs and things fits so well into, like, the Dwemer world of Skyrim. So in terms of, like, design, like art and design, it's second to none. It really is impressive that they do all that shit. I guess. I say that, but, like, fucking whatever. Apparently, I don't know exactly how much truth there is. I follow the guy who designed this and loads of other stuff for Skyrim and Fallout and stuff. I believe he's left Bethesda, but he posts on Instagram about stuff he's made. I think the tale is this design of the giant from Skyrim that was used in the game of Skyrim was based on that guy's, the creator's dad, which is quite a cool fucking little, like, Easter egg to throw in there. Because then if he shows his dad will look at this and be like, "That's me. Why have you made me a monster in your video game?" That's a bit funny. As in, that's a cool little thing to do. Like, if you're a fucking designer or whatever, then oof, my energy is waning. I love this. I wish this was in the game, like these fucking raven creatures, these raven human hybrids. Like, the hag ravens are cool things to be in the game, but for me, they are a bit too humanoid. I'd love to keep hag ravens in the game as they are, but have these as well, like these more raven hag ravens, like hag ravens spawn or something, like these more bird-like creatures that flap their wings and screech at you and stuff. That'd be really cool. The trolls are really cool. I always thought it was odd that they gave the troll this third eye in the middle of its head. That seems a bit of a random thing to give it, because the troll would work perfectly well with just the two eyes. Like, that still is a monstrous troll. Like, cool, that works, that's fine. But then giving it that third eye in the middle of its head seems a bit of an odd choice. I don't know. Doesn't matter though, does it? Well, I think it's fucking irrelevant. I just want to look at some fucking dragons. Where did the dragons go? Have I gone past the dragons? There's some dragons. Look at the dragons. The lovely, monstrous dragon. Ooh. And we are back. Yeah, of course, it might not seem much to you because of editing and such, but I've slept. The whatever rush of energy I had from alcohol and caffeine and such vaporized fucking up and vamoosed just after I was looking at books and shit. I'd fully intended to just record the entire episode, and then I put this, was it the Skyrim book I was looking at? I put that down, pressed stop, ready to get my shit together to record the next bit. That's sort of how I do it. And then I sat down and went, ugh. And I just had no fucking energy. I then got some food and went to bed just after that. There wasn't really much else to do about it. I figured, I'll do the rest, especially because I know what I was drawing, what I was going for, And I want this Charizard to be really good. I don't want it to be a shitty little drunk doodle. I actually want it to look good. So, and you know, yeah, it's not that bad. I did this one earlier today. I thought maybe more of an action pose could be cool. I don't know what the fuck the hand was doing. Going like this. Meat spin, that's what that is. Google that if you don't know what that is. I wasn't too into the action pose, but then this was sat on the side here, and I was getting this one done, and I looked over at this one, thinking, "Oh, okay, my drunk rough drawing wasn't actually that bad. It's quite good. Some of these lines are pretty coherent and stuff." It took me a second to be like, "Oh, that wasn't the you fucking dummy. That wasn't the drunk one. This was the drunk one." Which, again, isn't all horrible. It's basically all there, but it's just... it looks like I was literally doing this with the pen. Like, with how heavy some of these lines are, it looks like I was just fucking carving them into the paper. That's quite funny. Just the carelessness, I guess, of fucking alcohol. But it's whatever, you know, it's all good. It's a new day! Fresh start, fresh Charizard. That's a thing, isn't it? Is that a thing? It's probably not a thing. I don't think that's anything. I don't know why I'm using purple. There's no reason not to, but fucking whatever. So as I was... winding down for the evening yesterday. I'd had my dinner, had some potato wedges and shit, cook them in the oven, you know, nice, easy, nice shit. I could smell what smelled a lot like burning plastic. And because I know, obviously I knew I'd been drinking, so I was so worried that like I'd put something somewhere or left something somewhere either in or around the oven and it had caused something plastic to burn, or maybe I was checking everywhere. I was checking all like the outlets in my house to make sure, like all the plug sockets and stuff, to make sure nothing was like smoking, nothing had shorted out or something that I wasn't aware of. And and still to this day really have a long-standing from childhood fear of my house burning down. It's always, I feel like that's one of those fears that isn't, because what's the name? What do they call fears? A fucking, oh Jesus Christ! The word of today. That a fear that doesn't seem to make sense, but it's still a fear. You know the word. You're saying it now. And not an irrelevant fear. The irrational. I got there. That's one of the few times I actually remembered the word I was trying to remember. An irrational fear. It's not an irrational fear because there are irrational fears, but I feel like it's a perfectly rational fear. To you know, how you have the fear of your house burning down. That seems completely reasonable to me. Which is one of the reasons I can't sleep naked ever, because I'm too afraid of like the house burning down and me having to like get up and go and having to be like, oh shit, where's my underwear? Where are my trousers? Oh. To run out of the house naked, my stupid penis flapping about uselessly, as well it might. So, smelling burning plastic, I was very, very concerned that drunken Ewan had, I don't know, put like a plastic dish in the oven or something that I shouldn't have, or whatever. And I've got like a little fan heater, the body of which is plastic, and I've had old ones that like I've had for too long and had them on for too long, and the certain parts of the plastic outer casing of the heater have started to like burn and melt away, which isn't great. So yeah, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was going into like the bathroom, smelling everything in there, in my main room, under my desk, my laptop and everything, like. anything that had the potential to have fire attached to it. That's how fire works. Yeah, I was like checking it. I was just terrified that something had gone wrong or something was going wrong. Something was in the process of being a disaster. And then after a little while, I was like, I checked everything I could possibly check, and there wasn't any signs of anything going wrong. So I said, "Fuck it. I guess I'm okay. It's something. I don't know. If it's that bad, I guess I'll find out later into the night when the smoke alarms start going off and there's, fire billowing out one of my doors. Whatever." Yeah, so I went to bed and there was no bother, no hassle. It's just whatever, and it's fucking whatever. And then today I woke up and there was the smell was still sort of lingering, and I was like, well, then it can't be anything terribly bad in my place because over the course of 10 or more hours, it probably would have either dissipated or gotten far worse. So I thought nothing of it. It's just one of those things, it happens. And then I'm on the Instagram scrolling through. I think I was on people's stories, just having a quick look, seeing what people are doing for the day, what's going on. And then there's a guy who lives, I don't know, near me, I guess. I met him in Southampton. So I assume that's where he lives. He said he was local. And in his story, there was a photo he posted taken just outside a coffee shop nearby, very, very near where I live. And then there's the coffee shop, and then there's a park, and then there's some other buildings, and then like a bunch of streets behind that. And behind that, you couldn't see that far, but you could tell it was around that area. A huge fucking plume of like black and grey smoke. Like a big fire going on, amount of smoke. And I was like, holy shit, that's like relatively close. It looks like it's about maybe a 10-15 minute walk away from where I actually live. So not like right by where I live, but close enough. So I googled smoke in Southampton because if there's that much smoke, there's got to be a story. And there is. A warehouse near, I guess being near the stadium doesn't matter, but it's near like the football stadium. Apparently they had to evacuate because there was a game going on or something, and I couldn't be happier because football fans are some of the worst people on the planet. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, apparently a warehouse near the stadium got fire in it and made a huge big mess of a fire with enormous cloud of smoke. If you now Google like smoke in Southampton, you probably find pictures and the story and everything. If you're that interested, like it was a big fucking thing of smoke. And I can only assume that's as far as I read, by the way, because once I knew the information I sort of needed to know, which was, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's something, a warehouse near the stadium caught fire. Then I'm like, oh, okay, that's all the information I need. I don't care if anyone's dead. I don't care if it's, in danger of spreading to the outer area or whatever. I don't give a shit. It's whatever. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. It's not within my jurisdiction of caring. I don't give a fuck. I didn't see anything saying X amount of people dead, X amount of people injured, so I assume everyone's okay for what it's bloody worth. So I don't know the full story. I just know there's a big smoky smoke. That's what I was going to say. So I don't know the cause. That's the thing necessarily. But I have to assume the plastic smell, the smell of like burning or melting plastic I was worried about, I can only assume, I think it's safe to assume that's where it was coming from. the big fucking fire happening down the road, which makes sense, and that's good as well because it's a relief. It's a weight off my mind. I don't have to worry if anything's fucking burning in my house or whatever. It's burning in the warehouse down the road. That's what's burning, not my house. Good, I'm safe. Now I don't have to care about it. I wonder if someone got fired for that blunder. Oh. And again, having zero information, I'm confident in saying it was probably some like safety measure that got cut because of like cutting costs or whatever. Like there was something in place that was there for safety reasons, but then they were like, well, this has never been an issue and it costs this much every year to upkeep this thing, so we'll just get rid of that. Not worry about it. Or the person who's in charge of checking the thing like got laid off or something, and they fucked around and found out. Ultimately, I'm blaming capitalism. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is almost certainly the reason for that big fire is the Industrial Revolution, which led to capitalism being the thing it is and ruined the world as we know it. Oh, but look at that Charizard! Oh, wow, he's cool, isn't he? Oh, the muscles is shit in his neck. He's a fucking badass dragon. I've not gone quite as gnarly as I was sort of initially tempted to. I did a couple of other little rough doodles that were a bit like nasty and more monstrous. But then the more I did that, the less it looked like Charizard. And I'm sure with colouring I could have like pulled it back to look like him, but I was wary of like, you know, I do want it to look like Charizard straight away. I don't want people to have to be like, oh, it's Charizard, now I see, you know. So it's not as vicious and monstrous as I originally might have planned, but I'm happy with the design I've gone for. Regardless, quite a long neck. He looks fairly vicious and angry and shit, doesn't he? I thought I had other shit to say, but maybe I don't. Maybe I never do. Something I was thinking about recently. I was getting annoyed. Because I feel like nobody... I don't even know how to word this properly, but I feel like no one doesn't believe in ghosts as much as me. And not like, oh, no one doesn't believe in ghosts as much. And I don't wear that as a badge of honour at all. Quite the opposite. I find it infuriating whenever I talk about not believing in ghosts, almost without fail, the people I'm talking to always have some kind of like, oh yeah, but you know, there's this and there's that, and it could be, you just don't know. And I'm all the time, I'm just like, what are you talking about right now? They're not, there aren't them. There's no ghosts. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, well, you don't know though, because, you know, if you look at the available evidence, it's not really conclusive. And it's incredibly conclusive. What the fuck are you talking about? There are no ghosts. And I guess this isn't necessarily something I've put a lot of effort into talking about online. So I'm sure there are people out there who do feel as I do. But I find so often, if the conversation comes up, whoever I'm talking to has some kind of like, you know, open mind to the possibility of ghosts. And I'm just like, what? What? What am I doing? Who am I talking to right now? Of course there's no fucking ghosts. Fuck is wrong with you? And it's not some kind of like, oh, what, you a child? You still believe in ghosts? I bet you believe in Santa as well. Like, I'm not like that about it, but I'm just like, it can't just be me that just sees ghost stories and goes, pfft, of course there aren't ghosts. Of course. Human beings, as we know them, modern humans, have been around for hundreds of thousands of years. There'd be evidence of ghosts because ghosts would have been around theoretically for all of time. Ghosts can't be like a modern invention. If ghosts exist at all, they cannot be a modern invention. They can't just have started to have... Ghosts couldn't just start happening at some point. Like, ghosts have to have been around forever and ever. But I'm not trying to, like, have this now be like, now let me explain why they can't be, because I don't feel I should have to. That's just something I was thinking of lately. Just how is it that nobody doesn't believe in ghosts as much as me? Because I've said to a couple of people that I want to make a show called Least Haunted, because I think there's a show called Most Haunted or something like that, and I want to make a show called Least Haunted, where I travel to like these supposedly incredibly haunted places, like the most haunted place in England, and whoa, whatever, it's a castle, it's a manor house, it's this, it's that, and stay overnight and have a camera and like equipment and stuff, and just spend the whole time being like, well, there's no ghosts, so I'm not scared of staying in this fucking place. Like, if anything, I'm scared of like the drug dealers and stuff I saw outside the place. I'm not scared of the ghosts. Come on, man. But then every time I've spoken about that show idea to someone, they've almost always been like, yeah, you don't know though. It's like, I can't, come on. What the fuck is this? What's this, no ghosts? Doesn't make sense. It's funny for a minute, isn't it? If I get anyone in my comments saying, well, actually, trying to convince me that ghosts could be real, I'm going to block you immediately. Don't think I won't do it. You can try, fuck around and find out. There you go, you do that. If you want to be funny, go, oh, Ewan said don't do this, I'm gonna leave a comment talking about ghosts because it'll be funny to do that. Try it. Fucking see how far that gets you. See if you ever get to see any of my videos again without making a new account. It's just one of those things that's like, I want to feel that I have some kind of not connection with someone, but like if I talk about that shit with somebody, it would be nice to be on the same level, to be like, they understand where I'm coming from, and just for once to like talk about ghosts the way I talk about ghosts, and have someone go, well, yeah, obviously, of course there's no ghosts. Why would there be fucking ghosts? I've known people to like mock flat earthers, and then also those same people say like, well, you know, weird things happen sometimes. Like, you know, I've seen some weird shit. Could be ghosts, you don't know. What the fuck is going on? Oh well. I mean, it's not the end of the world if people choose to believe in ghosts. It's their prerogative. Look at that. Use that word correctly. That might have actually, I think I might have brought that up in a podcast episode, but that was one of the ones that like I deleted or whatever. So maybe me getting all fucking up my own arse about using the word prerogative is a moot point, a non-issue, an absolute shit of a poo. Whoa, it's looking good though, isn't it? It's giving me vibes of like that Digimon with that copied Cubone's design with the skull head. Digimon skull head. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Nope, not that one. What's it? It's like the little dinosaur. Buzzrimon Digivolve to Squirgmon. Was Digimon literally, was that just completely a fucking... There it is. It doesn't have his name. But yeah, it's like a big orange dinosaur and it's got like blue stripes and the purple and the blue kind of remind me of that. And it's got like a skull cap head thing like Cubone. It was just a Pokemon ripoff, wasn't it? Digimon. That it came like after... I have no information about it, but I assume it came after Pokemon. It figured... Well, Pokemon was really popular and made a lot of money. So let's do our own version of that. And make some money off of people thinking they're going to buy Pokemon and then getting the wrong thing. But we got their money already, so it's all good. Is that how Digimon happened? I almost like some parts of Digimon. I used to watch the cartoon when I was a kid. I think I saw one of the movies and I really, really liked the animation style. There was something really pleasant about it. Outside of that, I couldn't really look past the fact that it was just not Pokemon. Hey, come and watch our show. What's it called? Not Pokemon. Oh, okay. That will probably be really cool and fun to watch. Charizard does whatever he wants, doesn't he? Eh? Especially Ash's one. God, he couldn't keep that thing trained for shit, could he? Ah, God, was not a high enough level trainer to keep that thing in line, as far as I recall. I didn't watch much of the cartoon past like the first couple of seasons. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? No, it's not. Oh, I like this. I really like how this is looking already. This is going to be a good one. Someone better fucking buy this shit. I'm going to put this much effort into drawing cool shit for people to just not buy it. I'm kidding, obviously, that's not the point. I haven't yet watched back the footage from the earlier parts of this podcast, so they could be really like funny and entertaining, and it could be like, oh wow, Ewan's actually a lot more fun and interesting when he's been drinking too much, which for me isn't that much. But then it could be, oh wow, Ewan's even less coherent, and I think he should be careful before he gets himself into a place that is very, very not healthy. I'm actually a little bit worried about watching it back, because now I'm doing this one, which is, very much sober and just whatever, just usual boring old Ewan. But then there's two worries. One worry is I watch it back and it is like basically incoherent and the sort of thing that is almost unusable, and I have to just look at it and go, I can't put that out, it's worthless. having having not re-recorded, but having recorded this bit, thinking all I have to do is put this together with the other two bits, and then realizing, oh no, I've got to re-record the entire thing again. The other worry is that I'm far more entertaining when drinking. What if that's the case? And then I start to feel like, well, it was caffeine. I had to take loads of caffeine pills to give myself the energy to record and be fun and interesting. But if that turns into, oh, now I have to be drinking, like, that's a dangerous path to go down, I think. It might also be a very fun path to go down. Whoa, we could go down it together. We could go down together. Is that in The Simpsons? Oh, guess we're going down together, or getting off together, or oh no, when he has a crush on that broad that starts working at the power plant. We have to have sex. I did always think it was funny how much like Homer always had women after him, like really attractive women. Because there was that country singer one as well, where he became like that country singer's manager, and she wanted to bang him, and he was like, "Nah, I've got a wife, you fucking slut." And good on him for, you know, even when he thought he was gonna have sex, he was sad about it. He was always faithful to Marge, and that was just, a really good thing. But it was always like, you know, he's not an unhandsome man, but he's not the most attractive fella in the world, and as far as like people go, he doesn't have the best qualities of a human being. He always had these fucking women after him. And good for him, you know, good on him. Why not? Why bloody not? Why not have women after you? I don't even know what I'm saying. Do you like dragons? Ah, this is one. I'm wondering if I want to do much with the cut. I know when I get to doing the fire, as you can kind of see, I'm leaving like some spaces here to try to make it look like the fire is actually glowing. I might leave like a space around it, like in the wing and stuff, to really make it look like it is a flame. And I mean that in terms of like a flame and also a flame. I'm sure you get that, but I feel a need to clearly express what I'm talking about. I feel like I've got indigestion right now. Of course, if I did make a show called Least Haunted, the premise of the show itself makes me look like an arsehole. Because I'm just going around going, see, ghosts aren't real, I'm right, and everyone else is wrong, and me. Where really it's just like, shut up. So, who cares? Who gives a shit if ghosts are real or not? It's not right, it's not fair. Whoa. Maybe I'm just bitter because I don't believe in anything. I want to believe in something. I want to have something to believe in. But everywhere I turn, I lack the capability to believe in anything. And I guess I'm just jealous of people who believe in ghosts and things because they believe in something. Something fucking silly, but, you know, you still believe in something. And that's got to count for something, hasn't it? What do? Sit here fucking sneering and sniping at everyone. Sniping, is that even... I know there's snipers in the fucking the guns and the shit, but is sniping? Does that mean like taking jabs at someone like verbally, like sitting and sniping and sneering? Does that work? I'm gonna have to hit up Google for that one, aren't I? Sniping definition. No, I don't want images because that's just going to bring up pictures of snipers. Yes! Okay, sniping. First definition. The action of shooting at someone from a hiding place, especially accurately and at a long range. Sniping. Definition 2. The action of verbally attacking someone in a sly or petty way. Yes! See, that's exactly what I was doing. Sitting here, sneering and sniping in a very sly and petty way. Ghosts aren't real and you're fucking stupid if you believe in them. And I don't believe in them because I'm so smart. I'm smarter than everyone else. I even know what the word sniping means because I'm bloody brilliant. Aren't I a fat fucking genius? Aren't I the smartest boy in the room? Aren't I the best one? Oh, look at me. Oh, I claim not to want attention, but then I want everyone to know that I'm right all the time. Oh, please know and notice that I'm fucking right about things. I know so many things. Oh, look how many things I can fit in my fucking head. Oh, look at me. I'm so bloody brilliant. Oh, look, I've got a penis and everything. Look at it. Oh, it waves around. I could tie it in knots. Oh, I'm the fucking best. Oh, God. Pay attention to me, please. I'm the fucking best. Look at this. Oh, I draw a fucking Charizard and everything, you cunts. Fucking look at it. Oh. Ghosts aren't real, though. I'm just saying.